I was listening to the story about, it was a story of a family in Washington, and the little boy called the Bigfoot the Cowboy Man. And he had, apparently it had made an effort to steal this kid. And it hit me. My children were in that playpen behind me with nothing but a mosquito net over them. It could have crept up behind me and taken both of my children, and I wouldn't have known.
Father just got like a Mustang or something from Wyoming, okay? He had it out in the corral because he couldn't put it in the barn in the stalls with the other horses. It would kick and made all the other horses nervous. Had a Seminole Indian working the horse trying to break it every day. So they had it out in the corral. This skunk ape snuck up behind this horse and grabbed it on its hind quarters. This particular horse kicks out, jumps over the corral, runs into the pasture, to get away. At this point, the rancher's out there just blasted away with the dirty. Skunk ape runs into the swamp.
I went up there one day after that, or 2 days after that. I went up there and sat in the silence up there, and I'm telling you, man, it was free. It was crazy. There was a crazy vibe up there still. I did what I could to kind of get things under control, but I told her, I said, you need to get off this property. I feel like no matter how strong you are, it's almost like standing in the ocean. You can't stand still without moving your feet. You're going to get knocked over eventually, no matter how strong, whatever. You can't withstand a barrage of weird spiritual energy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Paranormal Odyssey. I am Wayne, your host, joined as always by my partner in crime, Miss Tiffany. What's up, ma'am?
Hey. How you doing?
I've been better.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, I am sick as hell tonight. I don't know if it's COVID or what, but running a low-grade fever before I came on, and I feel like just a big pile of poopy. But I was excited about this show tonight. Two of my favorite people are on, so I might not be as active tonight, but I did want to hang out and get through this one with y'all. Who are two of my favorite people?
Me and Mr. Tiffany. I mean, duh.
Yeah, there you go. Y'all going to come on and share a bunch of the creepy crap that's been going on with your house.
Yeah, it's like Twilight Zone outside. It's weird. It's weird. And I do have videos. I couldn't share my screen, so Wayne had to pull in clutch for me there. But I do have some videos that I'm going to share you guys. So just to preface it, the video will play all the way through, and then I always go back. But I'm like going through all this stuff to put on there, and apparently I completely cracked out and became a Karen when I'm taking screenshots and screen recording, because my camera roll is full of this stuff. And I'm like, why'd I even take that picture? I don't even see anything in that picture. Why did I think that was important? It's stupid.
Yeah. That's okay.
But
you've got a lot to share. Y'all have a lot to share tonight.
Yeah. We'll go through. I put all the pictures in chronological order. So, and there was 4 videos, but YouTube is stupid and didn't put the 4th one up. But anyways, y'all know what it sounds like anyway. So, but yeah, there'll be a lot to discuss for sure. And we just want opinions. Yeah.
And before we start paying the bills, I do want to play something for you guys real quick. One of the gentlemen that was at the Squatch Out this past weekend, Mr. Terry Brown, an awesome guy. I had no idea that he was as talented as he is. I mean, it's another example of our very, very talented listeners. We have some amazing followers. You guys are very talented. Terry is very musically talented. While he was at the Squatch Out, he wrote a song that was inspired by the Squatch Out. So this song is about the Squatch Out. He is playing the guitar. He recorded it. He is singing it. This is him Yeah, it needs to be the new intro. I agree. But we are going to play that right now, guys. Let me know what you think. It's only a couple minutes long, but it's beautiful. I think it really is beautiful.
I would agree.
Hold on. Did it?
In the forest heart where shadows lay.
Hold on. It's not going to play it from the beginning. There you go. Sorry about that.
Through the woods, the pine trees sway. Shadows long at end of day. Bigfoot's call on the whispering breeze. Secrets kept by ancient trees. Dogman howls beneath the moon. Echoes in the silent doom. Tracks we find, but answers none. A hunt for truth that's just begun. Oh, we're searching past the firelight for creatures hidden out of sight. In the forest heart where shadows lay, seeking secrets in the twilight gray. Through the fog, a shape did glide, skinwalker with eyes so wide. Legends of old we chase tonight. In the dark, our lanterns bright. By the creek where waters spill, whispers ride, the wind so chill. Forest deep and tales untold, in this land of myths of old. Oh, we're searching past the firelight for creatures hidden out of sight. In the forest heart where shadows lay, seeking secrets in the twilight gray.
Guys, how pretty was that? I don't know where Miss Tiffany went. Let me see if I can. There.
I don't know. Like everything is getting stuck. Like I put up our new member and then I clicked it like 8 times and it wouldn't unclick. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Well, you're back now. But guys, how pretty was that song? It's beautiful. And Kevin was right. I mean, to see Terry, I'm not saying Terry's hideous or anything like that, but the voice does not match the face. Terry was just an awesome guy. He was very helpful at the event. He showed up a couple of days before everyone and stayed a few days after everyone left by himself. And I'm envious. I would love to be able to do that. He camped by himself down by the lake.
Oh, that was nice of that.
Just wrote that song, and it's beautiful. So he is going to put that in an album. So if we get any more news about anything else that he's done, I will certainly pass it on. But I'm honored that he wrote that song and let us use it. It's beautiful.
It is a great song. It was it's so peaceful because it was playing when I came in here tonight. And it was just like so relaxing to just sit here and listen to the music, and his voice is just like butter.
Yeah. Oh, who's this new member?
Her name. Let me scroll. Our chat is busy.
Yes, it is. Best of luck.
Mm.
Thank you very much for becoming a PO freak tonight. Please contact either Tiffany or myself. We will share our email addresses here shortly. Holler at one of us. We will include you in the members only Discord. You are now eligible to watch all of our members only stuff and get early access to everything. Thank you very much for becoming a member.
Yay. I love new family members.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's pay some bills before we get your hubby out here.
All right, let's do it.
All right. If you are new to the show, we are glad to have you. Before you leave, please take a second, just hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you become a subscriber and also a member as well. But yeah, help Miss Tiffany and myself continue to grow this show.
And if you would like to be on with Wayne and myself, reach out to both of us. Our email address is wayne@paranormalworldproductions.com or me, Tiffany@paranormalworldproductions.com.
Guys, I'd like to invite everyone to head over to our website, paranormalworldproductions.com. Check out all of the other shows, sign up for the newsletter, pick up some merch, all of that great stuff. But you got to head over to paranormalworldproductions.com to do so.
If you have any questions tonight for my hubby or myself concerning anything that you see, just put it in all capital letters and we will highlight them, answer them at the end of the show.
Did you see what Miss Chris Blaylock just did?
Oh, I love her face.
Yeah, she's awesome. Thank you very much, ma'am. You are fabulous.
It's all
right. All right. Guys, as we were talking about our new member tonight, our memberships are open. We would love to have you. If you are not already a member, consider joining. It is just $1.99 a month. As we were saying, Mr. Scott Trent is showing up and showing out. Thank you very much, sir. I love you. Thank you.
I'm speechless at the way everybody is in our little family. I'm just like,
yeah.
you lose the words.
You do. You really do.
Yeah.
But as Mr. Alex Schmidt was saying, best $1.99 ever spent, or that y'all could spend. I agree with that, buddy. So yeah, if you don't mind and you are able, we would love to have you become a member. And yeah, again, Scott Trent, thank you very much, buddy. You come through every single month for us. You are awesome. I think we are now over the limit, so we will get a check next month. Thank you very much for doing that, guys.
Yes.
All right. And again, just real quick, before we get these guys out and talking, we are taking pre-orders on the shirts, the Manimal Gear shirts. Get the Foot Fetish, the Jeep, and the Silhouette. We are also doing a Paranormal Odyssey t-shirt. If you would like to pick one of those up, if you are a PO freak, you get a 10% discount. If not, they are $20 plus $5 shipping. Contact me and I will get you set up. We've been selling several of these, guys. They're doing really, really well. So if you would like to pick one up, I would be happy to get it to you. All right, Tiffany.
Yeah. Yes.
Tell everybody, just give everybody a little brief synopsis of what has been going on before we bring Mr. T out.
Okay. So I thought you were going to talk about super spooky Sundays, and I was getting really excited. Anyways.
Oh. Well, wait. Would you rather do that real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about, because I want to put the first episode out the 29th.
Okay. Go ahead and do that.
So I came up with this idea, and I ran it by Wayne, and I was like, hey, I really want to do this, and it's Spooky Sundays. It's going to be starting September 29th to start October off right. It'll run the whole entire month of October. Every Sunday, you will get a new creepy episode that I'm going to put out every Sunday. I will go on there and narrate it, and I'm attempting to add sound effects, and it's just going to be phenomenal. So you can look for that every Sunday. But yes, this started, I guess, technically we had my birthday party the 7th of August. So it was the morning of the 8th is when everything started. We had put our trash can out to the street. Zach left for work the next morning, and then he texted me and he said, hey, I think a bear got into our trash can, and it was going up the hill and then up our hill across the street that leads to our neighbor's house. So it was that, which was an extreme mess. And then I just started consistently watching the camera. And the funny thing about that is I went back onto the camera to see what it was that got our trash can, because we have a Ring camera on the front door and it's right there. We should be able to see it. The camera didn't record anything. It skipped the time that it would have happened. So it's like, well, we've had that Ring camera and we've not ever had any issues with it. Why, when I want to see a freaking bear get into the trash can, does it stop recording? It makes no sense. And it works just fine. It just cut off that night. So it started with the trash can. And then I became obsessed with checking our Ring camera. And that's when I found everything else.
Yeah, there's all kind of just creepy stuff. It looks like there's a man or something upright walking across your property. I mean, that shouldn't happen.
No.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and just bring Mr. Tiffany out, and I'm going to hand it over to you guys because I'm feeling like poopy. So yeah, we'll just let y'all just take off.
Okay. Hi, you look so mad. You came out here all mean mugging, bro.
I wasn't trying to mean mug. I'm trying to keep up with 3 different chats. So, I did not know you paid this many people to talk to me. So then,
I do what I can as your wife.
I appreciate that.
I want you to feel included and loved.
Well, I appreciate that. I definitely do tonight.
I know, I was watching the chat and I was like, wow, honey. Okay, you go. People are like,
Mike.
Mr. Tiffany, rock out. All right, honey, let's get into this.
I was going to say, where do we want to start with this? I guess
we're going to start at the beginning.
Okay, I guess the trash. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So when Zach called me, he was like, hey, I think a bear got into our trash. It was going up the street. And then if you see over here, it's going, now that is a steep grade, not steep. I couldn't climb it. I would die. Okay. But if you keep going up that hill, you run into our neighbor's house. And so it had taken all the trash up that hill. But, I mean, when you looked at the bag, did it look like it was claw marks?
Well, so the first time a bear definitely got into it, we know there was a big claw mark through a Bojangles box. Now, be that as it may, there was another Bojangles box in the trash that morning that got carried up the hill along with one of those aluminum foil things full of chicken, because it was your birthday dinner, wasn't it?
It was, and you can see the aluminum foil laying over there on the hill.
But what we failed to get, or at least I did, unless you've got it buried in your phone somewhere, was the pail of chicken that's about 40 feet up the embankment. So is it possible for a bear to carry it up there? Of course it is. A bear can absolutely carry it up there. The other thing is that raccoons, a lot of times, we'll get into that, but a raccoon is not going to carry it's probably about 10 pounds up.
That's heavy.
40, But what got me to thinking more was the fact that the camera didn't catch anything.
Nothing.
We went back and looked at everything on that camera, and up to about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I guess. And then it skipped to 6 or 6:30. Okay, and then you could tell on the camera that at that time the trash can was overturned.
Yes.
Well, you didn't think anything of it. I didn't know anything. I was bailing out here for work because for whatever reason I was running a little bit late that morning. And I come up there, and of course I say a few choice words because there's trash thrown everywhere. So I put the thing in park. I go, I clean up the trash. I text you or called you something. I made contact with you somehow and said, hey, something got into the trash. I need you to go out there and clean up the rest of it. Because all I did was get everything out of the road. Because if anything would have come back through there, they'd had to run through all that trash.
Mhm.
So that's when that was. But what struck me and what got me to thinking more, okay, is this a bear? It's definitely not a raccoon. I think we kind of ruled that out. They're not going to carry something that far, I wouldn't think. But what really got me thinking was the fact that the camera skips from 3:30 in the morning, sometime between 3:30 and 4 a.m., and does not pick back up until 6:30 a.m.
Mhm.
First of all, where did that lapse of time go?
Mhm.
Okay. There was no power glitches, nothing else, because if the power would have gone out, that would have explained it, but nothing else was messed with. Why do we have a 2-hour missing period of time there? So was this something other than a bear? So go ahead and pick it up from there, because I don't know if
Okay.
the next part I'm getting ready to say is chronologically as you want it.
All right. So let's see. This actually, Wayne, if you will, in just a second after you finish typing,
Go ahead.
if you could cue up the video of the creepy man for me.
Okay. There you go.
Yep, it's the middle one, and it'll play all the way through, and then I'll backtrack and stuff like that. You'll see it. First off, there's a light shooting from the backyard. And then there's a man. There's a something.
Yeah, you see him there?
So it's an upright figure or figure.
Yeah. Now this is 4:30 in the morning. This isn't, when this takes place.
This is the week after. This is exactly 1 week to the day after the original.
Because
Y'all
we
see
did not put
You
that
see him
trash.
there?
Yeah, because we didn't put the trash can back out there the next week. We waited until Tuesday morning to put the can out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the light is shooting from the backyard. Yeah.
Right. So the light directly in front of the house is the light off the camera. We know that. That's illuminating everything 15 or 20 feet out in front of it, right?
Yeah.
But to the left of the house,
There's
can
a
see a light that's shining almost looks like a spotlight of some kind, or high power, like one of those spot flashlights, right? What it kind of reminds me of.
This is the screenshot, huh?
Yeah, I was going to say, you have a closer up or a zoomed in photo of that.
I do. Right there.
Yeah. See if we can get that bigger so the folks can see.
Well, I can't. It's already as big as I can get it without over pixelating it.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's going to be about the best we've got. Okay. So for reference, right there about where that figure is where our rock wall starts. And it goes, and it's probably at the highest point where it starts curving and coming back down on the other side of your garage door, probably about 12 to 13 feet, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not the highest portion of it there. But just for reference, trying to figure out or calculate height or anything like that, I'm not necessarily saying, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I am 100% open to suggestions from anyone who thinks that may be a person. I will tell you, our next door neighbor, because when I very first saw that, I'm thinking Billy, our next door neighbor, is out wandering around. It's not unusual for him to be out in front of the house at all hours of the night. He's a completely harmless, good guy. He looks out for us. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that was him. However, looking at it, looking at the shape, I don't think he's that tall.
He's not. That's a very tall figure compared to the wall. The extremely tall, I say extremely, I'm short, but the torso is really, really long. And then, like, when I was messing with the contrast and stuff, like, because when I first shared this with Wayne, I was like, so what do you think? Because I don't know what in the hell this is. If it were at any other time other than 4 or 4:30 in the morning, I would have dismissed this and I would have been like, there's some kooky old man. But that's the thing, is we don't have the oldest neighbor we have that would be even close to coming into our driveway would be Billy. But Billy is not that tall.
He's not that tall. He's not. Yeah.
And why would Billy be over there at 4:30 in the morning?
I don't know why he would be right there at 4:30 in the morning. Right.
Exactly. And it's just very suspicious because this figure showed up right in the place that we set our trash can every Monday evening for trash pickup on Tuesday. And we didn't set it out that night, and it was got into the week prior, and all of a sudden this thing's there. Is it a full body apparition? I don't freaking know. I don't know if it's an apparition. I have no clue. But clearly it is something that was walking on 2 feet. That's very strange.
Absolutely.
It's very strange. So, let's see. We interviewed Miss Chris Blaylock a month ago, and I'm sitting downstairs after the show.
This whole night went to hell as soon as the show was over.
It was so freaking bad. Okay, I'm sitting downstairs, and I had finished eating, and I go to walk through the dining room to come upstairs, and it got really, really bright outside, and then it dimmed. I'm halfway up the steps to our bedroom, right? So it was almost like a car was coming up the hill, and it had its bright lights on, and it stopped right in front of our house and killed the lights.
Yeah.
So then I'm looking on the camera because I'm a camera hog now, and I see these two things out there. I think this is a better picture. Yeah, I see these across the street from our house. And I'm like, there's a freaking car sitting there, and this is like the hubcaps, right? This is how my mind is perceiving this, as hubcaps. So I'm just sitting there steady watching the camera, and I swear, and YouTube, this is the video that YouTube would not load. But if you guys can imagine the sound of a garage door opening, that's what it sounded like. So then I go to our garage camera. This is my garage here. But to me, from that angle, it looks like it's open. So then Tiffany goes into freaking panic mode. Okay, because I've heard this garage sound on the front camera that I was looking out of. And now it looks like my garage is open. I'm thinking there's a car sitting across the street. They've done freaking ninja-fied themselves, and they have come over here and lifted my garage door. So Zach gets his pew-pew, and he's like, just go ahead and call. Just go ahead and call. So I did. And when I tell you that
let me preface this by saying, do you want to give away what those reflection actually is now, or do you want to wait until after?
No, we gotta like tell the story.
Okay. So I looked out there when she said, Zach, there's a car out there. Yeah, I saw headlights, it dimmed. You looked out there, I did see a silhouette of a darker colored vehicle. It was a sedan, and this is what I told the police. It was a sedan, darker color. It was absolutely impossible to make out exactly what color, other than it was dark and it was a four-door car. No make, model, or anything like that. And then, coupled with those lights, I did not hear the garage sound when she heard it. I didn't hear it until she played it back on the camera, and it did sound like a garage door opening. Okay, it sounded exactly like it. I didn't hear it, but she did. She was obviously panicked. She was afraid that somebody was in the house. And certainly something you want to take seriously, and it's not something that you want to mess around with.
Yeah,
I
'cause it's
told her to call. So what I did was I got my gun, it's loaded, and I stood outside our door at the top of the steps. Carrie's upstairs at the time. Everybody's upstairs. She's actually in the bathroom. Actually, she's in the shower, I believe.
shower. Poor thing.
Yeah, she was in the shower. I stood at the top of the steps with a vantage point and just pointed it down the steps. I said, I'm not going to leave here because if they come around the corner, they're not going to expect me standing here, and I've got the tactical advantage. So she's on the phone with the police, and I'm standing there just waiting for something to pop around the corner. Okay, go ahead and take it.
Mm.
And we got a good police response.
Yeah, the whole freaking county. I'm not even kidding you guys. Now, I don't know why the camera like Sharpied this cop out, but our camera did that. Yeah, the whole freaking Roanoke County showed up. And I felt utterly, like, I mean, they went through and they cleared the garage, they cleared the house. I mean, we had cops in front on both sides. They were down looking in the backyard. We opened up the whole entire garage so they could check that. They were lined up the road, as you can see. There were supervisors' units coming by the house. It was crazy. But let me tell you what this actually is. This is actually our AEP box, okay? And these are 2 lights that are on our AEP box.
They're reflectors.
What is an AEP box?
For our
American Electric Power. It's our electric company. And
Okay.
it's an actual box over there that AEP services that does the underground lines. Okay. There's 2 reflectors in there. When I looked out there, I'm telling you, there was a vehicle out there. I would bet my life on it. There was a car out there. I saw it. She saw it. We're not losing it. But those lights that we actually saw right there, those was actually a reflector from off that AEP box.
Yeah, I felt like, y'all, I felt like this big. And I was like, I am never calling 911 ever again.
She was really upset.
Mortified.
So was the garage door open or not?
No, it was not.
It was not. But, and I wish that damn video would upload. It sounded exactly like my garage door.
Well, I mean, don't feel stupid. That's their job.
And I know, and that's what Zach said, but I mean, because he's in the field that he's in, and because we know so many people who are in that field and officers who are in that, and my dad, when I was a kid, my dad called 911 for everything. And I just took it real personal that I had them out here for nothing.
Would you rather not have called them and it actually have been something and your family die?
I know.
That was my whole thing.
That's what he said too. And I was like, I just don't want to be somebody's frequent flyer calling 911. Yeah. Okay, so that all happened. We had the man, as we talked about, the following Monday evening into Tuesday. Then we're outside mowing grass. Okay. And I'm on the lower end of our lot at the bottom. We live on a downslope. So we have the deck and then the backyard and then the Amazon jungle's right here. And then it's flat. So I had taken the mower down there and I'm mowing and I had made one pass. And I was coming back and I saw this in the yard. And so Zach had started coming down at that point, and I'm like, hey, because I had taken a picture of it, and I was like, what does this look like to you? And I showed him, and he said, no shit. That is in our backyard. Now that's the best that I could clean it up. It was only one. I'm not saying it's a Bigfoot. I didn't put the comparison of Zach's foot up there, but I had Zach put his foot up beside one of them. And I mean, he wears a size 12 and it was a little bit longer than his. So I would say probably 14 inches, but I don't know what that is. It's just like one thing right after another that started happening after the 7th of August. So then we start having lights, and this is lights 100%. I can, like, a lot of people are going to see this as like a spider web or a bug. But these lights are actually, if you see those 2 dots right there, again, that is from our power box. These are right above that in the trees. So when I first came across the lights in our driveway, I thought, let me see if I can find it. I thought they were, I put a really good one up here for you guys. There we go. This is the first one that I saw. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at the look. It's a raccoon family. I thought it was just eye shine. But it kept happening and happening and happening.
So let me jump in just for a second. When we first saw this, I thought for sure camera lens is dirty. I was unimpressed. Went out, checked the camera, make sure it was, free of critters and spider webs and anything else that could do it. I even wiped the thing down with a polishing cloth just to make sure. But then it kept on. It was every night, and they will move. They'll sometimes be at the top of the rock wall. Sometimes they're at the bottom of the rock wall. At one point in time, they were to the right. At one point in time, they were in the woods. Like it's just everywhere. So if the camera lens is dirty, I don't know, outside of wiping it off and making sure that there's nothing there on the lens, I don't know what else we could have conceivably done.
Yeah. I don't, and we're not saying that this is any one specific thing. I mean, yes, I am on a paranormal podcast. This is what I do. I co-host a paranormal podcast. However, I'm not saying that this is paranormal. We don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is. That's why we're here. That's why we want you guys to weigh in. I'm having a really tough time keeping up with the chat, but I do see Ristel said a couple of times somewhere back that potentially a family of raccoons, an army of raccoons, but definitely not a bear grabbing an armload of garbage.
Right.
Well,
look at the, okay. I took this picture off of the camera. This is our garage camera, as you can see. It's not a house, and I'm going to prove it. These were in, again, the middle portion of that hill.
Yeah.
So where you see Zach mowing the grass, across the street from him in that Amazon jungle is where these lights are stationed, directly across and diagonally from our house.
Yeah.
And as you see, you can't fit a house right there. And it's so overgrown because of the weather and the time of year. If there were a house right there, it wouldn't emanate. But that right there in that thicket of trees is just dirt. So where are the flipping lights coming from?
Yeah, because the house that is across the street from us is going to be much further to the left and a lot higher than that. That house is kind of looking down on top of us, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is, where it's coming from, because I don't even think his driveway is over that far.
No,
So,
I mean, it's baffling. And I went through the camera for last night, and I found lights that were similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I check the camera all the time, and we haven't had anything until last night. Like, it had all died for like a week, and then last night I pull up the camera and there are these lights again.
Well, it almost corresponds with our trash day, which our trash day obviously is Tuesday. It seems to
You're right.
Yeah, it seems to. No, I thought about that earlier. It seems to correlate with our trash day, and I don't know.
What the hell did they got against our freaking trash?
Well, because we had all that rotten food in there, which the problem that we had was is we didn't want it to stink up the garage. So instead of it stinking up the garage, we decided we'll just put it out in front. Well, then that sparked all of this. So it's hard to tell. Like I said, we're not saying we're not going to die on the hill of that was a Bigfoot. We're not going to die on the hill of we got aliens or orbs or anything else. We don't know what we have.
And I've always said I've never seen a UFO. I've never seen orbs. And then what happens? Well, you know what? I ain't never seen $1 million neither. So come on with it. But this is our lovely deer.
Hey, that's a deer. I'm going on record now. That is a deer.
That is a deer.
That is a deer. Yes. She comes as you can see here, August 9th, she was there. But here recently, she comes over 1:30, 2:30 in the morning. She eats the weeds out of the flower bed, which I'm very thankful of her helping me weed the garden. So, but if you look to, I don't know, it's my right, there's that wisp of white. What is that? Is that something, or is that because the camera light is on.
Are you
What
talking
are
about
those
on the right pole?
Yes.
What are those two little lights above the deer?
That is on the AEP box.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the AP box. But I think on the right pole, and this is, I've seen this picture, but I knew you were going to show it tonight, but I didn't know why. But I honestly think that's probably just reflection off the pole, if I were to have to guess.
Yeah.
Kevin thinks
here
it's a
says,
shapeshifter.
I said the same thing, didn't I, Tiffany? I said skinwalker.
It could be. And I'm open to that. I'm 100% open to that. I have no idea what any of this crap is. And that's kind of why we wanted to come on and get you guys to give opinions.
Yeah, because a gazillion eyes are better than 4.
If it's nothing, it's nothing, and I am okay with that.
Yeah.
Mike, nothing that was my first thought too. Mike once said, "Was there any spider webs?" And I thought the same thing too. But I have actually gone out and cleaned both the lenses several times since this has started, just to make sure that's free of debris or spider webs or anything like that. I have not seen any.
So if you would play the video of the wispy capture on that video, Wayne, on YouTube.
The wispy capture?
It is, I believe, well, they're both, it should both be the same. Just click on that one, the creepy camera footage. And again, it'll play all the way through and then I'll back it up. So our Ring camera will screenshot every hour. I've had people say that is definitely a shadow.
Yeah, that's the one you showed me today, and I hadn't seen it.
Yeah. And I've had people say that it is an insect that you have the camera didn't focus on. But it's bizarre. It's just another one of those bizarre things that happened. And if I'm not mistaken, that happened also the night, in the middle of the night, to the early morning of the 8th of August. It's weird, yeah?
So I guess my thing is a shadow of what? Number one would cause a shadow right there.
Yeah.
Unless something's standing on the roof of the house.
Almost like not like a shadow, but like a shadow figure forming.
A shadow figure. Well, that could be too.
Yeah. A figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so far behind on the chat.
I am too. I can't. Well, see, the problem is I can see the chat, but I can't interact with anybody unless I go over to my phone.
I don't think it's an insect either, Kevin. I don't, but I don't know what it is. And So when I put that out there, I was like, okay, I put it on TikTok and I was like, what did I catch? What is this? In your opinion, what is this? And so that's where people were, sending me messages saying, well, it's an insect. And then I had other people who were paranormal investigators and they're like, has that ever showed up before? And I'm like, no, that's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. And I haven't seen anything like that since. So I would think if it were an insect, it would be more, more prevalent.
Mike,
You would be able to capture it.
let me answer Mike real quick. He's wanting to know where the light source is coming from. The light source is coming from the actual camera itself, and it's going out.
Mm-hmm.
It projects out probably. You can see maybe 10 to 15 feet in front of the camera.
Yeah. It's bizarre. It's bizarro.
Bristol says it looks like a 3D. Okay. I can.
Yeah, because it's like just this wisp of whatever, and then it goes away, and I don't see it anymore, ever.
Right. I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? I've got a lot of good opinions so far, but
are we Looney Tunes or?
I think we're all a little bit Looney Tunes because we're here. Number one, we wouldn't be watching a paranormal show. We weren't a little bit crazy.
So nothing has been happening inside the house, huh, guys?
No.
Well, so yes.
What?
You remember that night that you and I were having a discussion? I was standing beside the door. You and I were having a very frank discussion. It was the night that Carrie, the whole thing happened with Carrie. And we were worked up, and you and I were almost about to go at it over it. And there was a clear, very clear from inside our closet door.
Yeah. Our walk-in closet.
Mm-hmm. To the point where I turned around and said, I don't have time for you right now. And turned around and kept talking to you. And you were yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, because I just completely forgot about that. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Kaylee, our oldest daughter, about everything that had happened. Well, I still worked at Belk, so it's been it's over a year. It's almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years next May. About everything that was happening while I was working at Belk, because that's when the picture came flying off the wall. We had the footsteps up and down the hallway. That's when the boys were saying, Parker would say there was a monster up here. Grayson was saying there was Starman up here. These boys have not said one word about our upstairs anymore. Not one word. It died. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's happened in the house that I know of lately. I mean, I hear little noises, but like they don't really per se bother me.
Yeah, nothing like the pacing footsteps, or certainly nothing like the fingernail drag down the bedroom door.
Are you going back to that video?
Pillar before the shadow.
I'm backing it up, guys.
Beep, beep, beep. Back on up, brother.
There you go.
Speaking of which, something just set off the camera now.
Mm-hmm. See it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was distracted by the actual the camera in real time. What? Say what?
What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't notice that
Was
either.
there a light next to the pillar before the shadow? So you're going to be looking at it was there from 12:04, like not there at 12:04, there at 1:04, and then not there again. No, it looks the same to me. Yes, Bristol.
So oddly enough, Bristol, Tiffany has done some research on our area. And
Yeah,
I believe she's going to probably share that here in a minute.
Yeah, I talked to him and Troy last night on Discord, and Wayne, you were on with Jessica Jones, and you had made a comment and I don't remember what it was that you said, but it struck something in Bristol, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever checked out the Native American situation at your house?" And I was like, "Well, no, I haven't, but I'll look into it." Now, our house was built in 1972, so it's not like 1800s, 1700s. Nothing. There haven't been any murders in the house. There haven't, nobody was, nothing. Okay. So I looked up the history of Bent Mountain in Virginia. And it says, according to available information, Bent Mountain in Virginia has a long history of indigenous presence, with the archaeological evidence indicating that Native American communities, including the Monacan tribe, inhabited this area for thousands of years, utilizing the land for hunting, gathering, and settlement across various periods like the Paleo-Indian and Archaic eras. Essentially, the area around Bent Mountain served as sustained indigenous territory before colonization. So, they done built our house on some tribal land.
Hey, on a more serious note, where the hell is Troy?
He is at his grandson's football game.
I was gonna say I text him, and I also reached out to Ristel to see if he had heard anything. He's at his grandson's football game. He's good.
Okay,
he's just gonna catch the replay.
Yeah. So it's Native American land, and the Monacan tribe is the most prevalent tribe in this area, and so much so I think they still have like meetings and stuff. They have like a specific meeting, but yeah. So there's that.
Well, guys, we may have set a record tonight on the most questions.
Sorry.
Ooh.
my cup suction to my coaster.
We may have set a record tonight for the most questions.
Let's do it.
Let's get there. Let's get past these super stinkers. Ristel, was the garage can left on the road? Was the garage can left on the road?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I took it out the night before because I didn't want it to stink up the garage. That's the whole reason why we did it, because we have bears and all sorts of wildlife around here that likes to get into stuff. We learned our lesson the hard way when we first moved in here. So common practice is to take it out the morning of. Well, the problem is, if I'm working in Montgomery County, I don't get here in time for it to run. So then Tiffany has to run out here, but if I'm in Roanoke City, I can actually get it out before I go to work. But there, I have to be in an hour earlier than I do in the city. So she usually takes it out. However, it was making the garage. It was going to make the garage smell really bad. It was really heavy, so she was having a hard time wrestling it. So I just took it up there the night before.
Okay. Mike Wolf, what does the camera take? Stills or video? Is it always on or motion sensor?
So it takes. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the camera is always on. It will take a still. It's supposed to take a still photo once every hour. And then if we pull up the camera and want it to go live, we just hit the live button and record whatever we want to.
Yeah.
But it is always on.
Okay, Joe Pat. Have you ever noticed missing time on the camera corresponding with missing time with you?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a
Very good question. The only time I have missed time on the camera was when this incident with the trash happened. We lost from somewhere between 4:30 and 5 in the morning. I don't remember the exact time. And it skipped straight to like 6:32 in the morning.
Yeah, it was crazy. Because it shows Zach walking the trash can to the street. And then it's like the next time it shows the trash can is laying over. There's missing time right there. I don't understand.
But as far as it like missing time with us, I haven't noticed really. I don't think so, but I don't know 100% now. It's a very thought-provoking question.
Okay. Bristol asks, do you guys have homeless / tweaker problems in your area?
Not in this area, no. The closest, we have a lot in Roanoke City. We live in Roanoke County. So we are the closest place to the city line from here, God, probably a good 12 miles. To get within the city limits as fast as I can from here, it would take probably about 15 minutes to drive it.
Okay. Chris Blaylock, what's the history of the house?
Well, we just went through the Native American history. I found the house was owned by, I think, the owner that we got it from, and there was another, I think it was 3 people.
Three before Michelle. Yeah, we got it from Michelle, and then there were before her. So that we would be the 5th.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, nothing in the house.
Mike Wolf, without specifics, where do you live? Woods, end of a deserted cul-de-sac, or neighborhood?
All the above. So, I mean, as funny as that sounds, so we do live on a cul-de-sac. We are the second house on the right once you turn onto our street. Kind of goes up, makes a hard hairpin left, and goes all the way up to a cul-de-sac. There are, and we counted them for another reason, Tiff. What was it, like 12 houses on our street?
Yeah.
That are spread all over the place.
Yeah.
That have addresses that are street name.
Yeah.
And so where we live, we're kind of by ourselves, and we have 2 roads in our little neighborhood, if you want to call it. And I think we have a total of maybe 16 houses between the 2 roads.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of woods. As a matter of fact, if you go into my backyard, Tiffany calls it the Amazon jungle. I absolutely love it back there. But it's not for everybody. Because there's a lot of hills, and there's a lot of snakes, and there's a lot of creepy things that I absolutely love. So I love our backyard, but it's not attractive to a lot of people because it's very hilly. There's some flat spots where you can go out there and sit. We got a fire pit back there and different things, but there's a huge hill that is very overgrown and very wooded that we have all sorts of fun little creatures that live back there.
All right. Kevin Jones, how many cops responded that night?
12 uniform officers and 2 supervisors.
Hell yeah.
So we had a total of 14 law enforcement officers standing in our driveway within probably 6 minutes of her 911 call.
Yep.
Okay. Kevin Jones asked, what field is Zach in? He is a paramedic. I'm going to answer that one.
There you go.
Yep.
I won't steal your thunder.
Scott Trent, how old is your house, and what was the property before the house was?
Our house was built in 72. So Zach was born in 79 and he's 45. So 7 years from that.
If Ray's still in here, he'd already told you the answer.
Yeah,
oh, that's funny. Yeah. So it's like 60 some years old. It's not old at all.
All right. And Robert Matler gifted 1 Paranormal Odyssey membership. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Scott Trent, super sticker of $50. You are amazing. Thank you, sir. Chris Blaylock, you are equally amazing. Thank you, ma'am. Love you. And again, Vesta Clark, thank you so much for becoming a member.
Yes. And
All
if
right,
you guys have any idea what this stuff could be, I mean, again, this is a Bigfoot, and this is a Bigfoot footprint, and this is a ghost, and these are freaking orbs or spaceships landing in our we're not. We just don't know what it is.
Just email Tiffany at paranormalworldproductions.com. I've
For all
always
your
wanted to do that, so now I'm good.
Love you, Mina.
all right. You guys got anything else that you want to add or touch on before we get out of here?
I don't think so. Go get some sleep, buddy.
Thanks for
Looking
coming
a
in.
little rough.
I feel like a big bowl of doo doo.
Well, that ain't good.
All right, guys. Yeah, we're gonna leave everybody up here. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Good show, great questions, awesome questions. You guys, like I said, that may be a record for the most amount of questions. Really, really good stuff, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Until
Robert
What?
said that it can be a Bigfoot because it didn't have a red circle. I thought about red circle and just to watch the top of Bristol's head explode. But I figured I better not. I like Bristol, so we'll leave it at that.
That would have been funny. I wish you would have done that.
All right, sorry, good.
All right, guys. Until we talk to y'all again, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye.
Bye.